Welcome. We are your hosts, Chris and Tammy.
In this podcast, we dive into the mindset for networking strategies and skills you'll need to build a solid foundation to build a global business.
We've built a multi-million-dollar business and have mentored thousands of people around the globe in the last 25 years. So this evening, the topic is embrace change. One of the things that Tammy and we were discussing, what are we going to talk about? And as you know, I mean, there are changes that are occurring all over the world. And at the end of the day, folks, change is actually a good thing. And one of the things that's very important is to keep your mind open when it comes to making changes in your life. Because in many cases, those changes won't be easy at first. In fact, the more worthy of a goal that you have, the more challenging the changes, the challenges that occurs in facing your changes will be. There will be a lot more resistance that you will encounter. And the thing is, you need to prepare for that. And we wanted to talk a little bit about embracing change, because I know that as human beings, we tend to adapt to change. We're okay with change, but often change brings fear, and fear often creates discomfort. People tend to get a little confused, and we want to talk to you about some of the ways Tammy and I see change and how we adapt to change. What are your thoughts, Tammy?
Well, the last 3 years, I think we've all gone through a tremendous amount of change in many ways. And that's the key. We're always going to go through changes in business and in life. And the key is how we approach it, which is really important. And that's what we're going to talk to you about this evening, because there are going to be some new things that are coming up. And Chris and I are just learning a little bit about it and some of the top leaders. And it's exciting. At the same time, it's new. We're always evolving. We're always growing. And it's never comfortable. And network marketing is a personal development platform, period.
So why is embracing change so important? And change is really an interesting thing, is that you're pushed to advance as a person through change. That is something, Tammy, you can probably relate to that. I mean, big time, I can relate to that. And you develop the ability to adjust to, new situation. And you come up with original solutions sometimes to adjust to the change and strive to accept oneself. And the fact is, together, all of these things, these experiences foster personal development. And all of this occurs through changes and challenges and adversities. And the thing is that you don't want to fear that, right? You want to embrace it, and you want to look at, I often say, grab the bull by the horn and just kind of face it front end and make the adjustments. And I know that Tammy talked about social media, and I'm telling you, social media for me, it used to be like a big root canal. I was like, God, I got to do that stuff. I mean, how often I have to do this? But, the thing is that I'm starting to embrace it more and more and more and more and more, right? So the fact here is you can start by doing this yourself, but it's good to have also some support. Remember YouTube. It's a very, 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 very powerful, very educational platform for you to learn. And TikTok, it's actually one of the platforms that is right now growing. Everybody knows it's all over the news. But the reality is there's a reason for that, and embrace this particular tool, and simply go to YouTube and search, how do I use TikTok? So how do you embrace change positively? Well, there's 6 ways to embrace change positively. Number 1 is acknowledge the change. Right? Don't brush things under the rug by saying, it's not for me, later, whatever. Embrace it. Understand what the changes are, because they're going to be coming, and it's going to serve you well if you're prepared. Look at the situation optimistically. There's people that look at things in a positive view, and there's others that are dwelling in the negativity. And I'm telling you, it will not serve you well. So always look at things optimistically. I'm telling you, this is what I force myself to do every single morning, because it is so easy to fall into that negative drama based on what we see on TV, what we hear on TV, or right now I should say on the computer, right? On your phones and everywhere, the news, it's just nonstop drama. So the thing is that you need to turn this into positive energy. So when you look at something that you may see as challenging, just kind of embrace it, understand what it is. Don't stress out about stressing out, right?
Yeah, set goals, right? You want to set some goals that'll encourage you to be optimistic about the changes that that you'll want to do to elevate your game, right? So you want to analyze your values as opposed to your fears.
Yes. And so back to the 6 ways, analyze your value as opposed to your fear. This is really, really important. Many of you have incredible value to offer, but we tend to submit to our fears and it takes over. And this is what I'm often see in the world as I come across people, right? You have a lot of value and embrace it. Discover what they are. Share your thoughts with others. Don't just kind of keep everything within, but share your thoughts with others. And this is the beauty about having these wonderful groups is you can communicate. And this is one thing, folks, is it's important to get involved, right? You don't want to just be on the sidelines and watch what people are saying and watch what people are doing, but get involved and participate, exchange. And that's where you can really help someone else. In the same time, you can receive a lot of help just by hearing the feedback that someone may share with you based on their way of interpreting the situation. And be flexible in embracing change. It's really, really important. Be flexible. Don't be too rigid. Just adjust to the changes. And this is something that Tammy and I really had to adapt for many, many, many years, and dealing with different markets, different countries, different styles, different personalities, right? It's just that you need to be flexible and embrace the change. And at the end of the day, what I found is often whatever chaotic situation you may find yourself under or facing, if you just stay the course and doing the daily activities that you know you should be doing, you'll find that everything seems to fall into place naturally.
Well, let's talk about inspiration to have that inspiration when it comes to change. How do you inspire change within yourself, right? So the key is to be there for people, but you also need to be inspired to grow personally. People are watching you. People are watching Chris and I. People are watching the leaders. People are always watching people who are moving. And so if you're moving, people are going to be watching to see what you're up to. Everybody has a voice and it matters, and we can learn from each other. We don't know everything, and none of us do. So that's why it's important to find out who's really good at doing stuff like this, and how we could all leverage everybody's skills and values that we're bringing to the marketplace as stories. I mean, how many times have we shared those stories? You are your brand, number one, and what you believe in, your passion and your posture around that belief is going to get people to connect with you, or even go right to a link and want to try what you're sharing.
The thing is, how do you achieve successful change, right? How do you achieve successful change? Well, the 5 steps that we want to talk to you about briefly about that. One is prepare to organize your organization for change. This is exactly what we're doing here. Number 2 is craft a vision and a plan for change, right? You're going to start with a specific vision, help people see the full potential. Number 3 is implement the change. And this is what we're doing. This is what we're initiating. So again, implement the change. Number 4 is embrace change within the company's culture and practices. So this is what I'm saying is that you want to make sure that what you implement is in line with what the company has made available for us, and work within that context, right? And the other thing is what we talked about is review progress and analyze results. Very important.
Yeah, plan, do, review. That is something that we all have to do consistently, especially towards the end of the month, doing the final numbers. You need to plan earlier in the month do as much work as you can earlier on, so the stress levels are not high towards the end of the month for those of you that are desiring to reach some goals.
And that comes to the end of our session here this evening here, folks. And really the message for tonight is embrace change and just learn to understand what the changes are. And I'm telling you, it's all going to fall into place. And so everybody, thank you so much for attending. I hope you enjoyed this session. And we look forward to see you very, very soon. Everybody have a great, great, great evening. And thank you for attending. And bye for now.